The true secret of a happy life is in this week's Parsha. We come to the climax where Yosef tells his brothers, I am Yosef. What's the response? The brothers are shocked. They're speechless. They can't say a word. But Yosef says, don't worry. And he says one verse that changes the entire narrative. Vayishalcheni Elokim lefneichem. Hashem sent me. He doesn't use the word, he sold me. He sent me. How did Yosef survive? The most difficult time. Growing up as a child, as an orphan. Then, in addition to that all, he was sold by his brothers. And the terrible pain he suffered as a slave of Potiphar, then being put into jail. How did he survive? He says it in two words. Vayishalcheni Elokim. He actually uses the word shlichut, being sent 2 more times in the following verses. Yosef never looked at this as something against his will. Of course, he had pain. Of course, it bothered him tremendously. Despair? Absolutely not. Why? Because Yosef knew there is a mission. He doesn't see it. He knows he will see it. But to him, it's a shlichut. Hashem is sending him to fulfill an important mission. That idea is obviously the idea the way Chassidus looks at everything. At least my life was changed when I heard that idea. And I know your life was as well. I'll give you an example. One day, I wake up. I'm running to the mikveh, coming to daven. And there's banging on my van. I see 2 people with a dryer. They have to bring this dryer over to a woman who's in need of a dryer, a bunch of children. I said, look, I'm running to daven. He says, look, I just need a ride down the block. Before I know it, the dryer is in my van. I didn't have a choice. I go down. I'm about to, stop, and I'll tell them, take out the dryer and let me go to daven. He says, well, my friend is away. I can't do it myself. Before I knew it, I'm schlepping out this dryer. And I want to put it down. He says, no, she lives in this building. I'm not kidding you, 2.5 floors, schlepping up a dryer. I run down, I say, okay, I'm schwitzing again. I come down, and I see a traffic cop writing me a ticket for 500 shekel for double parking. I said, Rebbeinu Shalom, this must be a shlichut. I ask him, I say, please, I was helping this woman. He says, my superiors are down the block. There's no way I could tear up this ticket. So I take the ticket, and as I'm going back to yeshiva, I see an 80 million shekel lotto. Now, I know I'm on a shlichut. This wouldn't happen in vain. I figured maybe Hashem wants me to win an 80 million shekel lotto. I usually do not buy lotto tickets, but I figured here I'll find out what my shlichut is. So again, I park my car. This time I'm double checking not to get a ticket. And a guy comes over, he says, you're Chabad? I say, yes. He says, if you're Chabad, listen, I'm looking for Rabbi Shlepter. I say, Rabbi Shlepter, right here. I just slept the dryer. He says, no, I need somebody in Costa Rica, Rabbi Spalter. I say, Rabbi Spalter. Sure, and Rabbi Shemtov from Costa Rica. He tells me that he has 2 children that are having a bar mitzvah Monday morning. And that morning he received from Federal Express the pairs of tefillin that he sent his children came back because of differences he has, and they refused the package. and he has to get them to Costa Rica by Monday morning. I'm standing in total shock because that night, this was Thursday, I was leaving to my nephew's bar mitzvah in Florida, and I spoke to Rabbi Shemtov in Costa Rica just a few days earlier, and he's coming for Shabbat to the same bar mitzvah. And I will see him Friday night in Shabbos, and Sunday he's leaving back, where I could give him back that pair of tefillin. I could give that pair of tefillin for those two kids. Vayishalcheni Hashem. Hashem sent me. So I told him, okay, now just pay my ticket for 500 shekel. I did not tell him that. I was so happy that all it cost me is 500 shekel to see in every case. There's Yishalcheni Hashem. You have to just look for it. Yosef saw it. We could all see it. Shabbat Shalom. I know I said Shabbat Shalom already, but in case you're wondering, what happened with that lotto? So let me tell you, I did not get one winning number. Not one. It was clearly, that wasn't my shlichut to win 80 million shekel. My shlichut was to deliver the tefillin, which I did at the bar mitzvah. Shabbat Shalom.